everybody, and good morning and welcome to Jakarta for the first of a double header here in Jakarta in Indonesia. It's rounds 10 and 11 of the 2023 campaign. The drivers are just on the grid. We're around about half an hour away from lights out as well. So much to look forward to here. So much anticipation after what's been a crazy season so far as well. It's Nick Cassidy who comes here as the championship leader. However, he is not starting inside the top 8. Cassidy starts 10th on the grid, a complete wipeout as well in terms of the dual segments as well. But we could be on for a Grand Slam. And that is very, very rare in motorsports these days as well. The last one to do it was actually a couple of weeks ago with Oliver Bearman in Formula 2. Because starting on pole position, it's Max Gunther. And Gunther has now taken FP1, FP2. He topped the group stage, he topped the quarterfinal, he topped the semi-final, and he topped the final. He starts on pole position. So far, every single session this weekend, he has been the fastest. So, we've got 36 laps ahead of us, plus added time. Anything can happen in Jakarta. It usually does, and it looks, fingers crossed, like we are going to see the running order as well for Gunther being flat out. So, let's take a look at the starting event for the race. It is Max Gunther on pole position. Jake Dennis starts alongside him on the front row of the grid. Pascal Wehrlein is third with Jean-Eric Verne in fourth. Stoffel van Dorn is fifth. Eduardo Mortara takes P6. 7th on the grid as well with Robin Freins. 8th for Rene Rast. 9th Nico Muller. 10th on the grid for Nick Cassidy. Mitch Evans is in 11th with Sasha Fenestraz in 12th. Sebastian Buemi is 13th. Dan Ticktum 14th. 15th for Antonio Felix da Costa. Sam Bird, a really poor qualifying from him. He's down in 16th position. 17th Norman Nato. 18th for Sergio Sete Camara. 19th on his debut, replacing Andre Lotterer, who's got the Le Mans clash as well, is David Beckman. He's 19th. Jake Hughes, really poor showing from McLaren in qualifying, down in 20th. Lucas de Grassi, the same for Mahindra. He's out-qualified. His rookie teammate, Roberto Merri. Although, can Roberto Merri really be called a rookie? We're unsure. Just joined the commentary box, I'm noticing, and hoping he can hear me okay, is Nick Homewood. Hello, Nick. Can you hear me okay? Hello.
I can indeed. Hello.
Fantastic. Hello.
I've woken up.
Fantastic. So did you manage to check any qualifying, or did you have a nice, good sleep? I hope you had a nice, good sleep.
Oh, no, you've gone again. I can't hear you now.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me? What about now? Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Lovely, lovely. It's just one of the eye wig you see for these races, while the little bus mixer gets taken by the Formula 3 lot as well for their race coming up later. So yeah, did you manage to see any of qualifying, and did you have a nice sleep?
I've just woken up.
Lovely. I do like that you had a nice sleep, to be fair, because I've been up since 1 a.m. and it hasn't really been worth it. Okay, Nick.
It's a bit of a busy day, isn't it?
It is just a bit. I'm very glad that you're stepping in as well, back in the comms box for Formula E. Ed Hunter's not with us this weekend. He is camping as well. He's doing all his stuff for his Scouts Club. I'm just being told that we're going to go on to the national anthem.
Merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Hadirin dimohon duduk kembali. Please be seated.
Okay, I think we might have came in late on that one.
I think Channel 4 was a bit late on that one.
Yeah. Yes, it was. They were with Radzi on the grid then as well. Radzi presenting for the first time. Good morning to SHT. It says, can Gunther make a clean sweep this weekend is the question. The app cars qualified well here. Struggles for the Jaguars and the Envision cars as well. Yeah, definitely some struggles. Jess also says, shame about Cassidy, but 10th is not a bad position. He would have rather have got on pole, though. Nick the Legend, just says Jess. So you already, Jess, Nick, you're popular with the viewers, including Jess, who's leading the coverage.
I think Nick Cassidy is going to go forwards, though, isn't he? He always seems to. So I'd expect him to be up around the podium by the time the race finishes. as long as he doesn't have any issues.
I think my surprise from qualifying was definitely Buemi, Bird, and also throwing into the mix as well the poor showing from Jake Hughes. That McLaren started the season really well, and now they've come to the midpoint of the season. Now he's down in 20th position. That's a shocking qualifying.
It is a bit, but Rast is up in 8th, so I don't know. It might have just been because at the start of the season everyone was getting used to the cars together. Hughes has obviously got less experience than most of the grid, so it might just be taking him longer to get up to sort of peak performance with them compared to drivers who've been driving Formula E cars for, what is it, 10 years now? 9 years?
Yeah, around about that, yeah. 10 years now coming up, isn't it? Next season as well, when there'll be a new commentator. Ben Edwards is stepping in for the last 7 races as well, but next year we understand there'll be a new commentator on Formula E. Desperately throwing my hat into the ring with everything else I've got going as they come in. Right, let's go down to the grid then, because Nick Cassidy's with Saunders.
The most difficult thing to manage in this race is going to be? Is it going to be the conditions, or is it going to be something with the driving style?
I think it's going to be the format. I'm not expecting an exciting race. I think it's going to be a bit dull.
Well, hopefully that's not the case, but all the best, mate.
So too. Cheers.
We'll see you at the end. Go keep cool.
Here with my man Jake Dennis. Feel pretty chill down here. How are you doing?
I'm cold. I've got my ice vest on, sat with you, chatting. But I'm feeling confident going into the race. It's obviously going to be really tough for the driver, the tyres, the battery. All that's going to be a big deciding factor on who wins this race. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm normally starting like 10th to 12th the past few races, and to be in the front row is a big testament to the team and the effort we've made in qualifying at least. Hopefully we can continue into the race.
You told me before qualifying that you were hoping you weren't going to be on the inside of this row here. You ended up here. You need me to have a sweep? Try and clean up the box for you?
Yeah, there's been a really big difference in testing at least. The left to right side. Generally P5 has been getting alongside P2. So I don't think I stand a chance against Pascal, to be honest, off the line. But nevertheless, if we can adjustable rider that's going on here, don't we? But if we can come out the first turn in P3, I'll be happy.
If we can turn the camera around, there's a lot of work being done on the front end of Jake's car. Maybe you can explain a little bit of what you felt on the preparation lap there.
Yeah, basically we had it in qualifying as well, that we've got like a small knocking in the front of my car. It's really distracting. Honestly, the balance feels pretty good, but it's just a bit more of a worry in the back of my head and annoying sound while I'm driving the whole time. So we're trying to find the issue. Ultimately, we changed quite a lot of things before this, but the issue was still there on the formation lap, so hopefully we can get on top of the issue at least tomorrow.
Copy that. Well, good luck, man. Wish you the best. Back to you guys.
So here on the grid with Mitch Evans, who's looking very cool in more ways than one. This is essential for today, is it not?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, I think last year was obviously really, really hot, but we forgot how hot it was. So I've done my ice bath, I've got my ice vest on. So yeah, apart from that, you can't really do much else to try and keep it cool here.
Okay, we've talked about it a lot. We know this race is going to be challenging, but from the position where you're starting, what is the biggest challenge to overcome?
I think we're going to see maybe a slightly different race to the last few. The last year has obviously been a massively like slipstream sensitive race, so where you kind of started wasn't too let's say critical. But I think the race will be quite fast here, with what they've done with the energy targets. So yeah, to be honest, it's not the ideal starting position. You know, I think track position is a bit more critical today. So yeah, we just struggled with a bit of pace since yesterday, and we've not been able to find it. We made some changes for the race, so hopefully we can make some progress.
Where do you think we're going to see the most action? First half of the race, second half of the race?
It's Formula E, you know, it can happen throughout. It can be slow and steady to begin with, and it just goes nuts towards the end. So I don't know. I think from the start we'll start to see, you know, people trying to make some progress potentially. But yeah, hopefully I'm amongst it, and then I'm towards the front come the end.
A man that keeps his cars very close to his ice vest. Thanks very much, Mitch. All the best.
I'm going to chuck it out there. I think Mitch Evans is going to push, and I think he's going to climb. Not possibly to this position here. Max Günther, his career first pole position, an opportunity to convert. How does he do that?
I mean, Max is probably a little bit nervous. His first pole position, his chance of winning a race. He's not even here at the moment. He's back in the garage. He's trying to stay in cool air, trying to stay concentrated away from us, away from the public, all the fans. So I think he's just trying to maintain his head clear. and let's hope for him. I mean, there's a long straight over here. Let's see if he needs to have a good start over here to try to beat the Porsche to the first corner and keep it clean. It's going to be a tough race.
And in his rearview mirror is an ominous sight, it has to be said, because this is the ghoul of it, Jakarta EPrix.
Formula E on Channel 4, sponsored by the all-electric Jaguar I-Pace.
When you trade in your old phone, you'll get money towards a new iPhone.
Then we do the money dance.
I hate adverts, especially when you're not in the commentary box to get them back. Okay, back with us now. Up here as well. What grid positions did Mitch Evans start last year? Gavin asks as well. Did Mitch Evans start like third last year on the grid? Off the top of my head. I will double check that now.
It feels like such a long time. A lot happens in Formula E.
It really does. So much so as well. I'm now literally Googling as well. Jess says, I think I'll be able to tell if there's a car noise, which is annoying, but nothing at the moment. Car noise is good. We're trying to do 3 things. We're trying to do like 3 different series at once at the moment, which is like a brand new record for us up here on JB Motorsports as well. Myself and Nick on the Formula E coverage as well, because that's a World Championship race. Then we got Jess and Synthel and Omi commentating on the Formula 3 session as well. And then we've got Josh T doing the touring cars. And then Jess and Josh are doing touring cars race 2. Josh and Omi are doing the touring car qualifying. And I'm just turning up for race 1 and race 3 tomorrow. It's an absolute mess. Whoever designed this weekend clearly knew that Le Mans was next and they want to do some testing. Yeah, you looking forward to Le Mans next week?
Generally forget to follow it. It's quite a commitment. I actually went there last year, though.
You did, didn't you? I remember. I was jealous.
Yeah, it was loud and hot. And then I got COVID, so that was an interesting time. But you know, it's going to be good with all the new hypercars and the balance of performance changes. It's going to maybe we won't see a Toyota walkover this year.
Fingers crossed. I think we could see Ferrari up there. I'm hoping Van will do something good now they've got rid of you know who from it. Isn't it?
It's a bit of a weird situation.
Yeah, they were never going to win with Villeneuve, were they? Ever.
No, but he's claiming that they never actually told him about it, and he found out about it on social media.
What, he didn't know that Le Mans was this weekend?
No, he didn't know that he'd been dropped.
Oh, I see. I get you now, yes. I found the 2022 calendar, but oh my god, it's like it's a mesmerising thing to try and get to the report for last year's Jakarta EPrix. It really is quite bad. I know that I can't see qualifying.
I miss the Gen 2 cars.
We all do. I think Gen 2 is better. Okay, let's stop waffling for a minute. We'll get some breaks. Let's go now back to Radzi.
Might just be able to detect a blue umbrella, because underneath the umbrella is the current pole sitter, Maximilian Günther. Max, first of all, from a temperature standpoint, it's roasting. How's your body getting on?
I'm good, trying to keep cool, and yeah, feeling good.
Seeing that car there in P1, what does that mean to you? Obviously massive opportunity, obviously massive pressure, but a personal achievement.
It's great, it's a fantastic feeling, you know, first pole position for me in Formula E. It's definitely a small milestone, you know, I've been winning races already, and yeah, now to get this box ticked as well is good, but you know, now full focus on the race. I'm really feeling great so far this weekend. We know we have got strong competitors around us, so yeah, we just try to, you know, extract all from our package, and then we see what's going to happen today.
Thank you for your time. I know you're fully focused on the race. Just final question is, what will you do to convert to points now? Because this is, again, a huge opportunity for you.
Staying cool, doing a normal job, and yeah, if we do that, I think we can have a good amount of points today.
Well, you're staying cool, calm and collected. Good luck today, and massive congratulations for early on. We can now go from P1 to P4, because the man who isn't necessarily known for staying cool is John-Eric Verne, and he's with Ollie Askew now.
Here with John-Eric Verne, 5th in the championship, 5th on the grid here today. How are you feeling?
I'm 4th, actually.
Are you 4th?
Yes, on the grid, not in the championship. Feeling pretty hot, actually, but it's going to be a fun race. Would be good. I think we have a good car here this weekend. and qualifying went quite good. So hopefully we can gain a few positions in the race and have a good one.
Stellantis cars qualified in the top 6. Is this something track specific, or is it something that you guys have found now with the extra performance?
I'd love to know. The truth is I don't really know. I mean, we come here, we have very little practice, and the car was good straight away, and on the both Maserati and ourselves. So I think we must have a package that fit this track quite well. But to explain you why, I don't really know.
Sounds good. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, in terms of the temperature, we can get it official. We have it here, 39 degrees on the track. That's it, he says. He's used to more. He wants more. And by the way, and humidity as well, 64. It does feel a lot more than 64 because we are sweating. You walk fast and you feel it. When you're driving, I imagine you're feeling something else. And this, by the way, is an ominous sight.
It is a beautiful sight starting from the front row. I mean, either one of these drivers must be very happy to be over here. And luckily, they'll pass this first corner without any issues and go on from there, because always these first corners in Formula E are a bit of a drama. So this one is not that tight, so hopefully everybody will go through without any issues.
Speaking to Max, speaking to Jev, they're obviously two people that are focused, but they're calm. At what point do they flick that switch?
5 laps to go. I think 5 laps to go, they're going to be on it. Everybody, Mitch is going to be back from, Cassidy's going to be over here. You're going to see a big dogfight towards the end of the race. I have no doubt about it.
We want to see a dogfight. I have to say that all this season, it has delivered like the mailman. Currently, we can basically just see into turn 1. There's so much more to this track, and this is what all of these 22 incredible drivers have to face.
Okay, guys, I'm coming up to start the lap of the Formula E race here at Jakarta. I must say, what an amazing track. Coming into this corner, turn 1 really wide, turn 2 and 3 wide again. We're gonna see a lot of cars overtaking over here, fighting inside, outside. Track is really flowing, a lot of grip over here. So much power in this Gen 3 car. Whoa! Woo! Woo! Sorry guys, I'm really excited. I mean, there's a lot of grip, a lot of power. This Gen 3 car is something else. For me, this part of the track over here is one of the hardest. It's really fast. No room for mistakes. Two corners to the end. Not a tricky place, and this is coming to the last corner. We're going to see a lot of guys dive bombing to pass someone towards the last lap.
Driving this car and having to compensate a lap around here, I think it's harder than anything else I've done before. Probably one of the most exciting tracks. Nearly all the corners are overtaking opportunities, so it's going to be, for sure, no doubt, a really exciting race.
Be honest, Nelson, how much did you like that? Because you enjoyed it just a little bit.
Next time, don't make me drive and have to try to talk around the I want to just enjoy the driving. But this car is so fun, so fast, especially in this track over here. So next time I'm going to be doing my laps, and then we're going to do a, how you call it, on top of recording, like a
voiceover.
A voiceover,
do it in
exactly.
Post. We're going to break the fourth wall.
Exactly.
Why not?
I want to enjoy my 6 laps, go as quick as I can, because I couldn't concentrate and think and drive and have to talk to the public at the same time. It was too hard. But anyway, the car is so quick compared to Gen 1 back 10 years ago. I mean, it's like over double the speed. So
what, double the speed? That's
double the speed, double the power. So I mean, it's another animal. I mean, it is so much more physical and fun and difficult to drive.
And that's not just the car. That's this track is physical as well. I mean, how are these guys going to finish after 30-odd laps?
Problem's not that. There's another race tomorrow.
Right.
So they're going to do a whole race today. They're going to have to try to recover, and then tomorrow, practice, qualifying, and race again. So they have a very, very tough weekend ahead of them.
So this is going to expose fitness as well as almost driving acuity as well.
Fitness, concentration, team strategy. I mean, they're going to have to adapt. Both races have different amount of laps, so it's going to be a different way of racing both days. So obviously, they're just going to keep thinking about, okay, the next lap. I mean, they're not going to be thinking about the race tomorrow. but the level of concentration, the more tired you get, the easier you start forgetting things, the easier it is for you to do mistakes. So they're going to have to maintain as cool as they can. And it's going to be interesting to see toward the end of the race, all of the drivers, because that's towards the end of the Formula E races where we see the drivers starting to pick up, starting to really be aggressive, really pass. But then we're talking about nearly after an hour of racing, you know, so they're going to be really, really exhausted by then. So it is going to be from outside, from our position, it's going to be much easier to watch what's going on than from in there.
What makes this all the more captivating is when you think about Mitch Evans, a man who's currently in 4th place, Nick Cassidy, who's leading the World Championship, they're in P11 and P10 respectively. They're going to have to come a long way to have any chance of making it onto the podium. Then you've got John-Eric Verne in P4. Maximilian Gunther, what can he do from pole position? This really is anybody's guess. Formula E delivers when it comes to the unexpected. Will it deliver just like it did last year here in Jakarta? It's time to get the action underway for the Jakarta EPrix.
And I knew they were going to go to an ad break there because that's just the way they roll as well at Channel 4 with Formula E. There we go, look, bang on schedule as we come up as well. So this is going to be a lot more fun than anybody was anticipating. Last year, this was one of the races of the season. I think, Nick, was it a one-time wonder or was Jakarta a really good track to come and race at?
It's pretty, it looks pretty fun. I think I missed the race last year.
Yes, I think you did actually, yeah.
So this is the first time I'm seeing the track properly. It looks like a lot of fun. And obviously we haven't had it in the Gen 3 cars. So it's going to be interesting to find out how they go around here. Nick Cassidy didn't seem that excited. He said it was going to be a boring race. But that's probably what he's hoping for, leading the championship. It's Formula E. You never get a boring race, really.
Never, ever get a boring race. My laptop keeps lagging in and out of internet, so I do apologise as well if we lose things during the race. That's probably just because there's so much trying to go at one time. Anyway, here we go then. It's all time for action in Jakarta. The 10th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship is moments away and the action is hotly anticipated as well. 39 degrees is the track temperature, air temperature at 32 degrees. This certainly is going to be one of the most entertaining races we've seen in a long, long time here in Jakarta. I'm Joshua Birch, alongside me in the commentary box is Nick Homewood as well. Here's a look at the Jakarta circuit. 2.370 kilometres as well. 18 turns, fast, abrasive track as well. Purpose-built as well here from where it was 10 years ago as a swampland. But this circuit should provide entertainment like it did 12 months ago. So then, Nick, coming into this one, what's your anticipation of who could possibly win? A lot of drivers out of position. Nick? I have a feeling I've lost him. Here's the grid then from back to front here for the Jakarta EPrix. It is Roberto Murray, 22nd. Oh, here we go. I can hear you. Hello. I can hear you.
Hello. Yeah, you lagged out a bit, I think.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
Yeah, do the grid, I'll come back.
Okay, starting from the back into the front then. Roberto Murray is 22nd, with Lucas Di Grassi 21st. Then we see Jake Hughes 20th, David Beckman 19th, 18th for Sergio Sette Camera, 17th Norman Nato, 16th for Sam Bird, Antonio Felix da Costa is 15th, Dan Ticktum is 14th, with 13th on the grid going to Sebastian Buemi. Sasha Fenestraz is 12th with 11th for Mitch Evans. Nick Cassidy, the championship leader, 10th out of the duels with Nico Muller in 9th. 8th on the grid then for Rene Rast. Alongside him is Robin Freund starting in 7th place as well. 6th on the grid, that goes to Eduardo Mortara, with Stoffel Van Dorn in 5th. 4th on the grid in the 100th start for a DS powertrain for Jean-Eric Verne. Pascal Wehrlein starts in 3rd position. Front row though, Jake Dennis starts 2nd. Maximilian Gunther has maximum attack, topping FP1, 2, group, quarter-final, semi-final, final, and now can he go on to lead the race? Go on then, Nick. Let's hope we're not lagged back in, so go on, over to you.
Yeah, well, all good now. I think it's got to be Dennis or Wehrlein for me. Judging by we saw the races at the start of the season where they dominated no matter where they started. It hasn't happened recently, but they're both starting near the front, so I think it's got to be one of them, and I'm going to go for Dennis.
The tension's rising here in Jakarta, Indonesia, the 10th round of the championship. It's a double-header weekend as well. Let's get the quick thoughts of Ben Edwards and Karun Chandhok.
Burnouts there to get some temperature on the top surface of the rear tyres away for the launch.
So here we are then, getting ready for the start. And Max Günther doing that first ever pole position. Let's see how he makes it work. He is in theory on the better part of the track.
He is going to be as well. The tension is rising up here. We'll hear from the two, Karun and Ben, in the box later on. The tension is rising. It is round 10 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, coming to you from Jakarta, Indonesia. Double header. We do exactly the same tomorrow. Gunther has a shot here on his first ever pole position with a green flag at the back. The smoke has disappeared. 3 lights on with 4 or 5 lights. Lights out, race on. Good start from Gunther. It's a great start from Wehrlein as well to come up into 2nd position. Dennis almost forced off it towards the wall. Lucas coming around the outside. That's coming with Stoffel Van Dorn. Verne's been dropped back. Verne's going side by side as well. Van Dorn's up to 3rd ahead of Dennis. Verne was side by side with Freins. Hughes getting up there in the middle with Beckman. But Gunther leads. A clean start. Wehrlein to 2nd. Van Dorn 3rd. Dennis down then to 4th position as they come in the middle part of the track. A load of sand getting thrown up, Nick, but a good start as we get dive bomb in the middle with Mortara trying to have a go on the inside there and making slight contact with Robin Freins.
A bit manic, isn't it? They're all going for it. Van Dorn with a very good start. Dennis is going to be pretty disappointed with that. Down to 4th already.
Buemi's dropped down to 21st position, so he's had a terrible getaway as well. We're on board with him now. Look, he's down in 21st place. Roberto Meri is staying in 22nd. Buemi's trying to go up the inside, coming into turn 13. Hairpin nearly hitting the back of Degrassi there as well, who's alongside Beckman. Sete Kamwa dropped to 18th place too as they come through. Gunther leads, Wehrlein, Van Dorn, Dennis, Verne, Freins, Mortara, Cassidy, Muller, Evans, the top 10 as we complete the opening lap. 36 in total. 1 activation zone, remember, for attack mode, and that lasts 8 minutes. So it's a crucial when you activate that at the exit of turn number 16 as they come through in the middle half of the track. All is well as further back. Buemi making a move on. That's Degrassi, so both of them are hindrance, Nick, already at the back. Maybe Oliver Welling did some good bad-mouthing them in the media.
Yeah, he'll be watching this race and not feeling too bad about his decisions, I guess. But I can't believe how much sand or dust, as you already said, there is. As Cassidy dive, is that no Buemi?
Yes, that's Buemi dive bombing. Hang on, no. Well, that's Buemi taking off the front wing of David Beckman. So Buemi getting already into everything because he's up into 19th place as well. So I'm surprised I didn't give Buemi a puncture, to be fair, coming into turn 12.
Beckman looks like he was going to get him back there.
I think I have a puncture.
Oh, he does have a puncture. Buemi says he thinks he's got a puncture, so I stand corrected. It has given him it as well. He's dropped down 22nd place, so Buemi is already in trouble, but Gunther's had a poor exit. Here comes Wehrlein down the straight. That Porsche powertrain seems to be a lot more in with the juice this weekend as he comes in the inside. Wonder where the track order has gone. Here's Buemi.
You're saying that absolutely right.
Yes, man, yes. Take attack and box. Take attack and box.
So take attacks and box because he gets 8 minutes. Well, hang on, he's only got 6 according to my screen. I think he's down to 5 minutes 39 already.
Do they have the choice of how much to take?
Not as far as I know. Anyway, here's the start.
Yes, so Wehrlein got a very, very good start.
Immediately alongside as well with Jake Dennis, and good start I think from Van Dorn around the outside. He got like a clean space, didn't he, into turn 1?
He did, yeah. 2 by 2 all down the rest of the grid, very clean, very fair.
Just taking a look further back where we get with Buemi, he got forced out So he started in, what was it, 15th? Now he's got dropped down to the back. On board with our pole sitter and race leader, Maximilian Gunther. Just getting the door, shutting him on the inside there, unfortunately. And then, as you said, Verline right round the outside, not taking any prisoners in this race. Wanting to do
He had to
everything.
back out of that one, or he was going to end up in the wall. Here he goes.
Oh, and he's going for it on the inside, as you said, towards turn 1. This is Verline's opportunity. Does he go in a bit deep? Yes. Gunther tries to cut back, almost takes off his front wing as well while trying to do so. But Verline has taken the lead of the Jakarta EPrix, and that's our first lead change on lap 3 or lap 4 of the race. It's Gunther.
Van Dorn in third. He's with these two. You want to be in that slipstream.
I didn't hear that, Ben. Ben was talking over it, but he's under pressure already, Nick, as well from Van Dorn.
Yeah, Gunther looks like he's in a bit of trouble. I mean, I don't think we probably expected him to stay at the front with that Maserati car, but he looks like he's in danger of getting swamped a little bit.
We'll keep an eye on everything as they fly back through. As we see, look in the garage there as well. They're not looking too pleased at Maserati. The weekend that's gone so perfectly for them is now starting to crumble just a little bit. And Van Dorn's closing in on as well. And Van Dorn is trying to go through on the outside. He's going to take attack mode. Ah, okay. So Van Dorn, 6 minutes activated as well of the 8 in total. So presume there is 2 activation modes. So he's taken the 6 rather than the full 8. So
Yeah, you can see the Mahindras have taken 2 minutes each because they've got 40 seconds left.
So they've taken the 3 activation modes rather than the 2. Maximum 8 minutes with 32 laps to go with this race. We're on lap 5 now. So Van Dorn with 5 minutes. 33 seconds for De Grassi and Mary, as you said, Nick. And then 4 minutes for Seto Camera and Beckman. And 3 minutes for Boemi, who has rejoined the race, but I think a lap down, according to the time screens. It's in between Beckman and Boemi has been noted. And there is Debra at the exit coming in towards turn 7. So they're
That's nearly on the racing line as well, so
VSC?
we'll see. But yeah, not a great place for Debra. He's quite a big chunk as well.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as they come through. I'm slightly alarmed that Josh, I haven't heard from Josh T yet. He's calling the touring car's first practice session as well. Gareth Jones says, thanks for the effort, guys. Kiwi fan, very grateful for the coverage as well. Grateful for Josh. Thanks for that. Welcome. As we see, that is taking attack mode coming through Verline. Yeah, so that's Gunther back to the lead of the race, and now Dennis all over the back of Verline.
Verline only 2 minutes.
Oh, that's a brave call to give Gunther back the lead. So
It is. He better hope he gets back past him in those 2 minutes, or that would have been wasted.
And let's fingers crossed that Dennis gets back on it as well as I update my notes a bit in the boxes already. That is Vern with 5.5 minutes of attack mode on the back of Mortara. So already they're using up like they did in the previous 2 races in Monaco. They're using it up as well early on.
We need
And Berlin.
0.6. We need 0.6 to lose only 1 position.
Okay, so that
0.6 then of a gap to only lose 1 position. Right now they've got 0.8 of a gap as well, so Gunther should keep it to Verline. Would Gunther go longer with his attack mode as well, just to defend later on, like take 4 minutes in total, 5?
I think whatever he does, Verline's going to end up net ahead of him, just by merit of having a faster car. Unless he can take a long attack mode, get ahead of Verline and bolt off down the road, it's going to be very difficult for him to cover that off.
And Dennis,
well, we'll find out now.
Yeah, Gunther's
As he
taken
takes
it, and Verline's taken the lead, and Gunther's taken 6 minutes as well. So they have all shifted around. So Dennis taken 2 minutes, Gunther taking the full 6 out of the 8 available. You can either go 6 and 2, 3 and 4, or the full half ones as well of 2-2-2 in the formation of 3 attacks as well. Look, there you go. Look. Total 8 minutes you can use. As the field squeeze through into the back half of the circuit, it's looking perfectly good at the moment for Gunther because look, Verline's going to run out of attack mode in 7 seconds. Gunther's right in the back of him, and that debris is just tantalisingly close, isn't it, to the racing line? I am thinking of VSC there to take it.
You would have thought they'd have done it by now if they were going to do it, so I guess they're leaving it.
Verline has taken the lead of the race, so already we've had 3 lead changes in this race and 4 different segments as well coming through.
Cassidy is slowly making his way up, already up to 7th, and he hasn't taken any attack mode yet, I think.
I'm slightly alarmed about the touring cars coming through, which is going to be fun. Taking attack mode, that is Moller. And he's taken 2 minutes of the 8 available, so he's got a 6-minute segment left later on. Drops 2 places behind Frines and Evans as well, as they swing through out of turn 18, I should say, across the start-finish line, which, unlike most Formula E circuits, is actually in exactly the same place. So it's a complete lap here, not segregated like we see in other circuits. And Gunther all over the back of Verline as well. Van Dorn just sort of holding on, but Dennis is going to be dropped from this train soon. He's only got 10 seconds left of this attack mode as they swing through, and that debris is getting closer and closer. The more they take the racing line and it grips up, they're just getting dragged out wide as they swing through. And that's Dennis out of attack mode. So this has not worked for Dennis, has it? This has really been poor effort.
It's kept him in touch of the front four, but he's going to have a bit of bother keeping up with them now, I think, because Van Dorn's got another minute and a half left and Gunter's still got 4 minutes left. So as Verline takes attack mode again, 6 minutes.
So Verline takes his full ones and drops behind Gunther and Van Dorn. Van Dorn up to P2 now as well. Let's check in with Ben and
get both their attack modes done, which might leave them slightly susceptible to other people towards the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely, but he's gone for the long section now, the 6 minute, so he's going to get it all done here, Pascal Verline, so he's got a good chance to use that attack mode now to find his way past. Van Dorn is currently on attack, but he won't be for very long. You can see the clock ticking away, telling us how much they've got, the extra power, the extra energy that creates this, they get from the attack mode, and that gives them that little bit more speed.
I wonder if Porsche are thinking about the temperature factor here, because as Nelson was saying on the grid, this is one of the hottest, if not the hottest race that we've had in Formula E. And that's going to have an effect on the batteries. So you might get to a point towards the end of the race where even if you've got energy available and then you take the attack mode at that stage, if the batteries are too hot, you won't necessarily be able to use that power. So I wonder if Porsche are taking a slightly cautious approach when it comes to temperature.
Yeah, that will affect things here, there's no doubt about it. And we're seeing a few more going into attack mode, and that includes Nick Cassidy now, so that will have dropped him down a little bit.
So Cassidy takes the attack mode as we come through as well, desperately trying to see where the stuff is for the touring cars. As Verline with 4 minutes to go, Van Dorn sort of piggy in the middle. Gunther's got the perfect hold on this race at the moment as well, but Mortara now, Nick, taking 6 minutes as Verline gets a bit understeery through turn 1.
Yeah, I don't particularly understand Porsche's call there, because they've only actually got 2 minutes over Gunter. So when Gunter runs out, Verline has to go and overtake Gunter within those 2 minutes, or, you know, Gunter's still got 2 more minutes to use because he's only used 1 deployment. So it looks like Gunter has now taken the upper hand. I don't know why Porsche took this second attack mode that early.
Yeah, that's it's a bit too much. We've got 26 laps to go. It's only lap 10 of this one, and they are just leaving it wide. Let's hear from Verline.
Cars with that powertrain in the top 6.
So Verline says be careful, they might be using this to try and create a gap as well. So that's probably right, because now we're going to see them go push full throttle as they swing out the last corner. Right, attack on, race on here as well in Jakarta. And everyone just keeping their fingers crossed and everything just a little bit too tense as well as to what could happen. It's in between Beckman and Boemi has now been noted by the stewards as well, not just was under it, they've noted it. We'll see if they change anything shortly on that manner as well, as I'm just checking everything's going through. Vern also taking attack mode, here comes Gunther. Vern is now down on it, but amazingly, we keep seeing this, don't we, Nick? It's pack racing. Every single race we go, and that's rare with a Gen. Well, we had it with Gen 2, didn't we? But Gen 3, we didn't think we'd have this much pack racing as we've actually had.
Yeah, it's just sort of how it ends up. We've ended up with you end up with groups, don't you? It's a bit like cycling, where you've got like the leading breakaway group, and they all stay together, and then you've got a secondary group, and they all have to stay together as Van Dorn takes attack mode for another 2 minutes. They all have to stay together to get the slipstream and be as efficient as possible. So you end up with groups of cars that stick together, and there's not much sort of between the groups. There'll be a gap and another group, and they don't mix that much.
So we've got Gunther out of his attack mode now. Verline's got another 2 minutes to go, and he's on 68% of energy. Both of them are. Dennis is on 70, Van Dorn on 68, Vern 69, Mortara 68, Cassidy 70, Frine 69. In fact, they've all now changed into the 60s as well. Bar Muller, Rast, Bird, Hughes, who are all on 60, now 69. They're all changing over, so they are dropping it quite nicely. I'm surprised, actually. 12 laps in, they've used around about, what, 31 to 33% of energy. That's pretty much normal, but they've got to start thinking added laps. You don't get time to breathe at this circuit as well. It's very heavy on the power. The only real regen energy points is down at turn 7, turn 13 and turn 18. The rest of them aren't really attack modes. As there we go, Gunther taking another one with another 2 minutes, and that's to capitalise against Verline, who had another minute and a half left. So Verline retakes the lead on lap 12 of the race. Now that's a surprise move. They've got rid of all their attack modes, Nick, in the first 12 laps.
Yeah, and again, I don't know why Gunter's taken it that early, because now he's only got 30 seconds over Verline. So, you know, he's essentially made sure he's going to be behind Verline once their attack modes run out. I don't really understand that. I think at the minute, in the strongest position is Dennis with 6 minutes of attack mode left, and he had the highest energy of the top sort of 6 when we saw the energy, so he's in a good position.
He is in a very... Oh, here's Dennis down the radio.
And you often lose a place or two.
Good on battery, mate. Keep it up.
Good passion, keep it up. Okay, that's nice always to hear. Fingers crossed, eh? It's going to be a smoother run for everybody as they cut through past the back of the curves. Just a reminder that the touring cars qualifying and the Formula 3 Spanish sprint race is about to start. Jess and Synthel have the commentary with Omi in the pits. And as well, down in the British Touring Cars, it's trackside being streamed by Josh T. And Nick Homewood's up with me in the Formula E box. First time we've had 3 series on at the same time trying to cover, believe me, when we say it's been chaotic trying to get it all sorted. So, NATO has taken it as well with another 6 minutes to go. Hughes has passed to Costa, so Hughes actually now back up into 13th place with all this mess around that we've been having. Let's have a quick run through the order. 14 of 36. Verline leads with Gunther 2nd. Dennis is 3rd. Van Dorn 4th. Vern 5th. Mortara 6th, Cassidy 7th, Frines 8th, Evans 9th, Muller rounds out the top 10, Rast is 11th, Bird 12th, Hughes 13th, DaCosta 14th, Fenestras 15th, Ticktum 16th, NATO is 17th, 18th for Soto Cameron, 19th Beckman, 20th for Degrassi, 21st is Merry, Boemi's down in 22nd position as well, a lap down after having a puncture by hitting the back of Beckman's car as well, and right now the battle is on as Verline and Gunther out of attack mode, and now it's a straight shoot out to the finish, and Dennis and Van Dorn are in it as well, and Dennis trying to look around the outside of Gunther coming into turn 13. Dennis might actually win this. He might have got the best strategy. I've just got the feeling on it.
Yeah, and being very efficient as well, and that's just how Jay Dennis seems to work, but he never seems to get very good luck, so we won't curse him on that yet. I think Nick Cassidy might have missed attack mode, because he was right behind Vern and Mortara, and now he's dropped quite a way back.
I think he has. Let's have a look. I think you're right, yeah, because Mortara's now, what is he, 3 seconds back, so he's dropped 1.8 seconds, something like that?
Which is about an attack mode.
Yeah.
What you'd expect, so I think he's missed it.
So that is going to cost him. Well, Mortara's had a bad weekend all round as well, constantly struggling, constantly making a few errors as well, in qualifying as well. He was in a direct battle in the quarterfinals between him and Gunther, and Mortara just, honestly, what was it, 4 tenths off the pace, with 1 mistake in the second sector, cost him the lap. But Mortara having a difficult weekend here as they go through. The sprint race is live now for Formula 3, but stay with us here for Formula E as we try and get everything sorted with that conundrum. British Touring Cars going live soon. Here's Dennis.
Whiskey 1, push for attack, push for attack.
And Dennis now pushing for attack. He's got 1 left, I believe.
6 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's a great one there. Did Cassidy also go? Mortara's taken 2. Muller's taken 6, yeah. So some mighty good attack still left in this race. Van Dorn is out, so Cassidy's got 6 minutes. Evans has still got the full 8. So does Bird. So the 2 Jaguars could play a late race dive bomb as well if we get a safety car, which is looking increasingly unlikely the more the field gets spread out here as they swoop through the mid-sector through 3, 4 and 5. I believe What are we thinking? Top 5 going for the win, maybe? That's a
I think
possibility.
top 7. Mortara. Evans is a bit far back, but it looked like he was saving quite a lot of energy, so he can always come back, as Evans does. He always seems to be there at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah, looks to be. Evans always in there, like he was 12 months ago here in Jakarta, taking the win at the line in one of the closest finishes we had in Formula E. And then, of course, we had 2 more close finishes. One in, where was it, London, then one in Sao Paulo as well. It's even Mexico was close. Here's Cassidy.
Funny shift, this.
Can't even hear Cassidy's radio.
Just a bit of detail from the team to him to give an idea of...
And that's Dennis on the inside with the attack mode getting through on Van Dorn towards turn 1, late on the brakes, just in the regen power, and he's got it. So Dennis up third. It was, wasn't it? And it wasn't clean, was it? He was massively unsteady with the car.
Yeah, but got through, didn't hit him, so however close it was, good overtake.
Well done, as the debris at the side of the track's just not making any difference, it seems, at the moment. They've all been quite calm together, as I've just put my hand on my pen. That's nice. Thought it was closed up. So, Dennis has still got another 4 minutes left of this attack mode. As you say, he took 6, didn't he? So this is closing up. Timing Tower is desperately trying to catch up with what's going on the screen.
Gunter's still quite close to Verline, so if Dennis can catch them up in the next 4 minutes, he's got a good chance of getting them both.
It's closing in ever so nicely. Oh, and
Cassidy,
yeah.
a lot of energy. As Dennis and the Jaguars and Rast all got 1 or 2% more than Verline, Gunter, Van Dorn.
Oh, looking fab at the moment, isn't it? I must say, by the way, Jess's OBS stream looks absolutely fantastic as well. She's covering the Formula 3 this weekend for me, while I do this Formula E with you, Nick. So well done, Jess. It looks great. Let's have a look at replay then at Dennis. This is the replay. Talk us through it, Nick, on the inside of Van Dorn.
So Van Dorn closes the door and Dennis decides to go through anyway. Very unstable on the brakes and on the power, but they were both very fair. Van Dorn gave him space, and they both... Yeah, look at all that dust, though. That's incredible. They both got through cleanly.
Literally zero room around, isn't there, for everything, as they try and fight together.
That reminds me of Daniel Ricciardo in China 2018.
Oh, yeah, on the inside, was it Bottas, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Late brake manoeuvre for the lead, brilliant. As the racing continues, lap 18 of 36 at this rate. Do you know, I was just thinking to myself that this race might actually not interfere. Might actually be able to go hop in the Formula 3 commentary box at the end of all this. I don't think there's room for me. I might have to go to the pit. Go on.
Jess has the same initials, isn't it? JB Motorsport.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't think of that until now. So technically, yeah, I've just passed on to another JB. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get Jensen Button in as well.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Only at Monaco, and I'm not running to have a heart attack on the grid when he decided not to. Do you know, I bet Martin Brundle hates Justin Bieber because Bieber was supposed to be doing the grid interviews at Monaco in 2016 at the end of the race, but he decided, no, I'm not going to do that, and went home, so they had to call Martin Brundle quite quickly. Brundle had to run from the commentary box to the front of the grid, and he had a heart attack. He had a mini heart attack, yeah. So I bet he hates Justin Bieber.
Well, he won't be the only one.
Yeah.
I'm glad Justin Bieber didn't do the interviews though, because I think I'd have shriveled up.
Yeah, I think we all would have. I don't know. It's just not right, is it? I didn't even hear that radio come through. It's just a peeping coming through at the moment. That's Cassidy apparently, who's on the back of Vern. I just put as well, look, it's all that going on. Okay, so it looks like Jess got the commentary sorted out. Cassidy in the championship, 130 points.
Loose on his halo.
Oh, yeah, what is that? It looks like it's not a charging port, is it? It looks like something, but he's gone on the inside and he's hit. Oh, and he's broken the front suspension. Cassidy, I think he's out of the race. He went to the inside to get ahead of Jean-Eric Verne while we were looking at something flying around the front of his halo, and he hit the side of Verne. And I'm 90% concerned.
He's okay.
Oh, that was lucky, because the way the wheel went looked like he'd broken the suspension. But something is bouncing around on the halo, isn't it? That's a very weird angle. Audio's not coming through clearly either, so we can't tell what it is there. There we go.
I mean, yeah, if his suspension was broken, he'd have being in the wall by now.
He's got lucky, isn't it? Yeah. I say Cassidy.
But
Quite ambitious there.
Yeah, it's not fair. Where was I meant to go?
Right, let's take a look at it, Nick.
so he's going down. He's made his intentions quite clear. I don't think Vern saw him.
No, I don't think he did. It wasn't too late, and that's Dennis passing Gunther. We didn't see that on the cameras. As we hear from Cassidy again.
Max Gunther there.
Just turned in on me.
He just turned in on me. Oh, apparently. Yeah, what is that flying around? It looks like a charging port, doesn't it, on the top
So
of
if
the
we look at the suspension, I think it was just the way that the wheels. Yeah,
it's just
both
the way,
wheels moved in sync, but very lucky there that he didn't either hit the pit wall or hit the inside wall or break something permanently.
Bird and Friends have swapped places as well, so Bird's up to 9th position, Friends down to 10th now, Friends and Rast and Bird. In fact, Friends is dropping. I don't think he's taken attack mode, so Bird and Rast have passed on the inside, as the touring cars is now live as well. What is it? Oh look, B-Wheel's gone off for the first time in 24 hours. So I'm literally having to do several thousand things to keep an eye on all the channel stuff, so... well done to all the team and everyone for getting through this weekend as well. This is part 1 of the hard part as well. Josh and Omi have got the lead commentary on the British Touring Car qualifying later on as well. That, I believe, is at 3:15. So, as I said, it's 15 minutes into our commentary for qualifying. As we're just desperately trying to get everything through. Okay, so all's good there.
Well, here comes Dennis on Verline for the lead.
So this is changing through once more here. Verline's been in the lead of the race since lap 13. Can he take anything here again? But Gunther's right there as we hear the helicopter angle. One of the beauties of a Formula car. Just getting close between them. So just double checking this. Here's Dennis.
Last I saw 2% more than Pascal.
So Dennis just on the radio just saying, don't be too much. This is Verline, look. DNF'd in Cape Town, 7th in Sao Paulo, 6th in Berlin, and then 7th in the second Berlin, 10th in Monaco. He had a great start to the season, then he just dropped it in the second half, and now he's trying to pick it up towards the end. It happened last year, of course, with Van Dorn.
It did, but it feels weird we're already talking about the end of the season.
Yes, it does, doesn't it?
No, what is it, 2 months month and a half until London.
Yeah, it's 2 months away, yeah. End of July is the end of it, isn't it? So, last weekend in July is the 2 races in London. Are you going this year to London?
I'm not. It's my sister's wedding.
Oh, right. Oh, wow, okay. I hate it when
I'd rather go to the Formula E.
I agree. I hate it when sisters do that. My sister had her first marriage in 2011 at the on the day of the qualifying for the Belgium Grand Prix. And it was the best qualifying we've seen in years. So thank you very much.
People need to plan their weddings better.
I know the second one, if it ever happens, will not be there. Cassidy and Jev is under investigation for contact now, so Jev might get done for that. But yeah, I say second one because she's in a relationship as well and is having a baby. But they say at the moment they don't want to get married, which is fair. So if
they do, at least have a screen in the corner of the ceremony.
Oh yeah,
playing motorsport. Yeah.
Oh, if it happens, I'm not going to be there.
Good to being told.
I mean, they're probably if it happens on a race weekend, I am definitely not going to be there unless it's like if it happens on a qualifying, that's fine. If they do it on a Sunday or a Formula E Saturday, I'm not going. I'll miss the part of the reception because I've got work.
I'm sure she'll understand. You just Photoshop you in the pictures. That's it. Ooh, that was a very late defence.
Yeah, Verline goes defensive. Dennis tried to launch on the inside, and here comes Gunther, and they touch. Verline gets touched by the back, and look at Gunther trying to go right round the outside, coming into turn 3. He's on the inside line. Dennis shuts the door. Oh, beautiful.
They must have touched there, Gunther and Dennis.
And look at Van Dorn getting involved. Suddenly, the race has come alive in the last 12 laps of this race. Oh, crazy!
And here comes Vernon and Cassidy as well. It's 7 for the lead.
Spectacular racing here in Jakarta. It's come alive as we knew it would do. But Verline had to go incredibly defensive to Dennis. The picture broke up, but I'm surprised, Nick, that won't be investigated for moving under braking.
That was very late from Verline. I thought they were that Dennis would end up in the back of him. Dennis did very well to avoid that, but it caused a bit of a mess through the next few corners. But yeah, I didn't like that from Verline. too much too late.
Yeah, fingers crossed as Jay Penske watches on. The DS Penske owner, of course, not DS Automobiles, as we had, of course, Mark Preston in the commentary box earlier on in the season. Let's be trying to get him back, but he's just such a busy man at the moment. We're hopefully going to get him back towards the latter half of the season, maybe in Rome for a race, because we've got Portland left. Portland.
Rome's going to be exciting in these cars. That jump.
I know. Oh, God, yeah, the jump in these Gen 3 cars is going to be unbelievable. Hughes has passed Muller. Good comeback from Hughes here, up into 13th place, with Muller into 14th. So this is looking slowly better. I'm liking this, as, again, we see Van Dorn going defensive, Verne trying to get the cut back, Verne actually apologising on the radio as well after the qualifying session for bumping out Van Dorn in the quarterfinals. He actually said sorry over the radio, as now they're going to duke it out in the race to see who's better. And right now, it is the closing gaps between as on board with Cassidy. And Cassidy has got a trick left to play because he's got 6 minutes left.
Whoa.
Did you hear the that was you, but did you hear the audible whoa in the background when they realised it was 6 minutes? That was unbelievable. So the
He's
fans
going to
know.
be in a great position.
And everyone else in front of him is going to be like dominoes, just going to be dropping in front of him as well. My friend, actually, when I said where we were racing this weekend in Jakarta, said we're in Jakarta. I said where it was. It's just on the front of the beach where Marshland as well. It's next to the entertainment centre. He said, oh yeah, I've been there. Because this is where because that's where he did his karate competition as well in the World Cup a couple of years ago in Jakarta. He's also been to Sochi in Russia at the Olympic area as well, up the track. So,
I know which track I'd rather drive on.
I know which track I'd rather drive on as well. It's right here, not Sochi, Russia. God, that was a boring track. Don't know what they were thinking. It was boring to drive, it was boring to commentate on. The only exciting thing happened when it was raining.
It was the only track I could ever drive well in F1 games. It wasn't a fun track, but I was quick there for some reason.
You clicked with it then. I could never. I could never. Do you know, the two tracks I hated, Russia and China. I love China, but I can never do China. I can never drive it. And that's Bird. Well, this is going to be fun.
Very wide.
He's got 8 minutes. So that's his first one he's taken. He's got a full 8 minutes. So he's going to be... Has he got enough laps left? I think he might. Yeah.
Just. As long as there's no stoppage.
Right, the race is underway. So I've officially missed a Formula 3 race, everybody. And that feels weird. And there's no way I can have it up on the... Actually, I might be able to. I'm going to use the fabled thing of Sky Go and do 2 monitors at once as this thing through. How many laps? 27 and 36 here for Formula E. A long way to go. But look at this. 1.3% energy more Dennis has to Verline. It's less than that as they come into the braking zone for turn 13. This is actually, I think, going to be really strong from the runners and riders here. I've got a feeling, I've just got this strange feeling that we're going to see Cassidy take the win.
I don't think the win, but I think he can get Gunter.
Yeah. Apparently there's a safety car maybe. What have I missed? That's fun. Oh, radio? No?
Look, I knew.
No radio.
I'm just double checking everything now. As you see, that's Cassidy on the back of Mortara coming through as well. Trying to have a look.
Have they fixed the lighting on the cars?
I don't know, because that's what I was just wondering, because half of them are still saying in attack mode when they're not.
And Mortara's was flashing red a minute ago. I don't know what that means.
Mortara's not in energy. Has it what? Flashing red to be overtaken? Really weird.
I don't know, but now his blue one is flashing at the top of his car. I honestly think if the lights don't do anything at the minute, they should just be turned off.
Yes. They're just pointless for us commentators as well, and for the fans. It confuses everybody. Yeah.
The one on the back of Mortara's car is flashing blue, so it might just be Maserati electronics, you know?
Yeah, do you remember back in, where was it? Mexico, the lights were just flashing random colours during the race. It was confusing everyone.
Technicolor, they got RGB.
That's it, yeah. It's like my speakers and my mouse appear in the commentary box as well with the RGB colours. As Verline under pressure from Dennis and Gunther, 1-2-3 on lap 29.36. SHT asks, what's your weakest track when playing the F1 game? Well, I don't think you play the F1 game, do you, Nick?
I do. I have in the past. It was always Spa for me. I've never got on with Spa.
My weakest track was China, but in terms of the modern F1 calendar, taking a look at it, I can never get the hang of, and it surprised you actually, I can never get the hang of Hungary. Hungary, that third sector, I can never do. I hate it. It's an evil part of the track.
Especially when your tyres are warm.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And it's that 7-8 chicane that I hate. Ida Cohen apparently has crashed out in Formula 3, so that's brought out the safety car. So it sounds like Jess and Cynthia are having a great commentary at the moment.
Cassidy not making much forward progress.
No, I thought he might do. He's out of it in about 1 minute 20 seconds. He's wasted 6 minutes of attack mode because the field's too spread out. This is a 3-horse battle like it was last year between Verline, Dennis and Gunther.
There's a random purple light on Gunther's car.
Whatever that means. As it heads down towards Tom. Look at Dennis though. Has Dennis lost a bit of his front wing? I swear, it's like that little chip bit has been chipped off the front there.
Might have been when him and Gunther were side by side.
Yeah. SHT asks, what about your strongest track? Without a doubt, the strongest track for me on the F1 calendar is Bahrain. Hands down. Well, I could just flow around Bahrain for hours. What about you?
Ooh, I mean, it's either Sochi or Zandvoort. I love Zandvoort.
Yeah, Zandvoort is actually a good track. I agree with you there. I actually did quite good at Hanoi. I got really good at Hanoi. And I was actually quite annoyed we never got it on the game as Rast has dropped down. What has happened to Rene Rast? He was running 8th and he's now just dropped down the field into 11th position and outside the points. So, yeah, Jess has activated the safety car, and I haven't put them in the correct position for her. So, sorry, Jess. Birds past Evans as we start lap 31 of this race. Verline leads.
Evans took attack.
Ah, okay. So, Evans and Bird then on the attack modes as they come through. But no, do you know, it has been, I hate to say it, but we haven't had a single yellow flag, a single red flag. No one's been put it in the wall, and so far, apart from Boemi being, a lap down because he had an accident, no one's actually done anything wrong.
Jake Dennis is
had a Miami race.
Yeah, and it has actually been quite exciting at the front as well, which is quite interesting. It's a weird way. This is how Formula E do a Miami race. It's actually quite good.
I still think this race has got a sting in its tail.
Yeah, something will happen.
You've got the 3 leaders right together with 5 laps to go. Someone's going to send it.
I've got a feeling Gunther, he wants that Grand Slam, doesn't he? He's topped every single session he's been in this weekend. Practice 1, practice 2, group stages, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. And now...
And he has the most energy.
He does. It's got to be Gunther. It's like Sao Paulo as well. Do you remember? I've just seen it's the Mercedes safety car this weekend and now I'm depressed. So, it's like Sao Paulo when it's close at the end. Come on, what are we going to have? Fingers crossed this will be good.
Cassidy didn't gain any positions with his attack mode.
What a waste. And when Nato's up to 15th, by the way, he's passed his teammate Sasha Fenestraz. Let's check in with actually the rookies in this one. David Beckman's 19th, Roberto Meri's 21st, but Degrassi's 18th. So they're actually doing quite well for complete rookies.
Formula E cars, you don't just jump in and drive them. They're so much different to anything else.
This is what happened to Rene Rast. Look, the rear, and did a 180 down in towards turn 7. And he hit the bump, didn't he? Hit
the bump, got on the dust. That's it. No recovering from that.
So they come through. Leaders again close together. Gap between the top 3 and Van Dorn is 1.9 seconds. If somebody doesn't start sending something soon, I think we all know we're going to be in a bit of trouble. They need to start pushing. Fingers crossed this happens
Dennis
soon.
is very close.
He's closing. He's closing. Can he get it in towards turn number 1? Can he find the manoeuvre he wants to? We're zooming in on Verline. Wrong TV director angle. Bird has passed. Evans has passed Bird. I think Bird's taken the final attack. He has. Verline's just defending like crazy now as well, but this is allowing Van Dorn to close back up. No further action between Cassidy and Vern, by the way, Nick. So no penalty for Jean-Eric.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, a bit clumsy, let's say.
Yeah, 100% too clumsy. As they fly through. Come on, come on. Anything you've got left for the final 3 laps? 34, 35, 36. 3 leaders. Got 2 groups going on. Battle for 1, 2, 3. Battle for 4, 5, 6, 7.
And then an 11-second gap.
What has happened? What has happened?
You can tell that Dennis is sizing Verline up. Just the way he's driving the car, taking different lines, seeing where Verline's vulnerable. And he's going to send it for the end. I feel it. It's going to happen.
No added laps, obviously, given the fact that we haven't had any safety cars. They've gone back to green flag running, by the way, in Formula 1. Attack mode for Rast. Attack mode. No, hang on, that's attack mode for Bird, who has got past Rast. And Rast has dropped down to 11th again. DaCosta's back up as well. Timing screens are changing.
Evans dropping down.
We've got a yellow flag. That's why he's dropping down. Mitch Evans, who won the race last year, has stopped on the track. And it's turn 1. So is this going to bring out a safety car or full course yellow to really spoil the events? It won't be any added laps either. This will be the end of the race if they have to deploy something. And Evans is out. He's crashed.
Potential at T1, no added laps.
No added laps.
So what are they going to do? Are they going to leave Evans there? They can't overtake. What's he done? He's up the. He's going to take. He's hit the back.
His teammate. His teammates hit him.
Birds hit the back of Evans like he did back in Cape Town.
Oh no! It looks like they're going to cover around the local yellows, but that's probably one of the main overtaking spots. Is now out of contention.
I hope he doesn't get out of the car. If he gets out of the car, it'll have to be a safety car. It's the rules. So fingers crossed he doesn't lose it. But my goodness, so where did he do it? Where was it? It wasn't Cape Town, was it? It was in India, Hyderabad.
Yes. Oh, that was a crazy race.
Yeah, that was actually what we all thought this is what the new generation is going to be like. So that's Bird for the 2nd time this year hitting the back of Evans. 1 in Hyderabad, 1 in Jakarta. Now, as you say, this is another opportunity. This is like turn 1, turn 13. Can Dennis find a way through? Can he get a push? Will he get a push? I don't think he will. It's getting too tight.
Oh, Evans has got going again.
Yeah.
So that at least means they got turn 1.
Brilliant. Well done, Mitch. Here's Sam.
So sorry.
So sorry, I heard on the radio, but this is the final lap. Dennis, look for it. It's turn 1. He knows it's all green.
He's got 2% more than Verline.
And Gunther's dropped back. Gunther's dropped 1.3 seconds to these two, so that's it. He may look like he's right there, but he's out of it for an overtake. So Gunther will not take a Grand Slam unless these two take each other out. It's happened before, remember?
Not out of the question.
Yeah. Beijing 2014. Crashing out. Prost and Heidfeld leaving Degrassi to take the win in the first ever race. Another yellow flag. Double yellow at turn 3. And Bird, I believe, is off as well as Rast. Bird is dropping and Bird is out. Jaguar scored no points here in Jakarta race 1. But it's all eyes to the front as Verline is having to lift energy coming into the last sector. Dennis has got 2%. Verline's going to have to lift and coast. Dennis going to have to send it into the last corner. Once again, it's going to be a run to the line. Verline coasting out of it. Dennis gets a poor exit. Pascal Verline is back to winning ways in Jakarta. Dennis is 2nd, Gunther 3rd, Van Dorn, Vern the top 5.
Hughes gets 10th.
Oh, brilliant. 10 place improvement for Hughes. Brilliant. DaCosta 8th, France 9th, Hughes 10th. Bird is out, and here's Verline. Pascal Verline is He won.
Pascal Wehrlein.
Well, that's nicely done as well as they come through. Bird finishes 21st. Evans is out. So Jaguar go from a double points finish inside the top 10 to scoring no points at all. What?
Last 2 laps.
Yeah. What on earth happened there?
I think Rast was involved.
Yeah, Rast dropped 2 places, didn't he? That's what allowed Hughes up there into the points. Miserable way to end a race. Ah, that's Wehrlein. Thought you had a problem then. Incident involving Evans and Bird is under investigation for causing a collision.
It can get worse for them.
Yeah. A grid penalty for tomorrow, maybe. Oh, and there goes the inevitable ad break. Oh, well, we'll use this time then to wrap up the results as well. And here the podium, the top 3. So, Pascal Wehrlein takes victory here in Jakarta, race number 1, with Jake Dennis second. Maximilian Gunther is in third. Stoffel Van Dorn fourth. John McVern rounds out the top 5. Great result for DS Penske, their 100th start. And then we get as well, DS Automobiles' 100th start in Formula E as well. Penske have been here since the very beginning. Eduardo Mortara finishes 6th. Nick Cassidy 7th, sort of wasted in attack mode as well. He was too far back. DaCosta is 8th. Friens fighting back for 9th. And Jake Hughes up 10 places as well into P10. Then we get Muller in 11th. René Rast is 12th. Norman Nato 13th. Dan Tincton, we haven't actually mentioned all day, is in 14th. Lucas de Grassi 15th as well. Sasha Fennestraus 16th. David Beckman on debut is 17th. Sergio Sete Cameron must have been involved in that crash with Bird 2 because he was running in the up high and now he's down to 18th. Mary is 19th. Sebastian Buemi is 20th. And the 2 Jaguars dropping out dramatically as well. As Hazel Southwell says, Jaguar have been... I've just lost it, hang on. She says, Jaguar have been through some tough seasons in Formula E, from that first one with the scrambled powertrain to the rough deal of Season 7, but this year is just harrowing. I don't think anyone, drivers included, is particularly to blame, but you absolutely know that they will be blamed. But I've got a feeling you've got to blame Sam Bird on that one. That's just defending Sam. That was Sam's fault completely.
And I think the stewards are going to have the same opinion, and will give him a penalty for that. I've just seen Sam Bird's car come into the pit lane, and it's got a smashed up rear. All the fins on the back are pointing in the wrong direction. So I guess Rast went at the back of him, or he's backed into a wall somewhere.
Right. Sasha Fennestraus has been given a drive-through penalty for overpower. So he's used too much energy. So Fennestraus, believe, is now going to drop down to 16th place. Let's hear from him now. Here we go, on the radio. As we take a look, there is Pascal. If you'll watch along with us on YouTube as well, just taking a look. Josh T is covering the Touring Cars Practice 1 as well with the trackside radio. He'll be commentating on the qualifying session later on. Let's take a look at Bird then. And this is what happened. Rast and hit... Hang on. Bird's up the inside. And...
Costa.
Yeah, it was Rast.
That's when Sam Bird got...
Here we go. He got tagged by Rast into the wall, you're right. Oh. It could have been good. Just get spoiled. Can never have anything, can we?
Nope. So yeah, Bird goes into the back of DaCosta, and then Rast goes into the back of Bird.
So, status quo for them, really. Penalty is going to be fun. Free Practice 3 is live tomorrow morning.
Oh, and then he's hit the wall on the other side trying to recover.
I reckon Sam
Poor
is...
Sam Bird.
He's almost done, isn't he, with Formula E? You can tell.
I think this could be his last season.
Raston Bird is now under investigation for causing a collision as well. Meantime, the Formula 3 race looks absolutely fantastic between O'Sullivan and Browning in a battle for the lead. We've already gone through the results as well. It's coming in. So, Formula 3 looks great. 10 to 21 completed there. Feels weird. This is the first Formula 3 race I think I've missed since I started. So, 2021. That's a long time. Unless there's been others and I've had Megan cover them. I don't know. I don't feel as bad missing them as I thought I might. I know it's going on, but if it was a Formula 1 race, believe me, I would be annoyed. If it was anything, if it was like a Formula E or anything like that. But with it being Formula 3, I'm actually okay with the separation. That means I get to watch it, which is a weird feeling. Fenestraz, again, has already been investigated, so that's going to come through shortly. Hopefully, we're going to hear from our top 3. They'll be speaking to Saunders, CB, down there in the pit lane. I'm actually surprised, actually. I feel a bit bad. The World Feed broadcast is entirely male-dominated this weekend. Like, as is our commentary team, which I'm slightly concerned about. The fact is, I've not actually heard, because Nikki's not there, obviously, because she can't go to Jakarta because of the humidity levels. It's not good for her pregnancy. But Darren Altatossier's there, and I don't know why they haven't put her in front of the camera. Wow, they've got great side-by-sides in Formula 3's racing. That's looking great. Message correction. Car 23 Fenestraz has been a drive-through penalty converted into a time penalty. So Fenestraz has now dropped down to 16th position as well. Josh will watch it, but while watching, we'll commentate on it. Yeah, pretty much how it's going. I'm now just looking at the Formula 3 race on my phone. Let's hear from the top 3.
Yeah.
Well, okay, nothing.
It's still a good result.
Yeah, it's
and I think they'll be
third
happy
podium
with
in
that.
a row.
Yeah, yeah. So it does work for them. There's no doubt. And for Max Günther too, well done to him after doing such a great job in the practice and qualifying sessions, and to come home with that 3rd place. You can see he's looking pretty happy about that, pretty satisfied, and that will give him a good little boost in terms of points in the championship. A little way down the field, down in 12th place in the points coming into this race, but a good chance to make a little bit of a boost up. And because the car's working so well here, of course, they haven't got an evening where they can go and celebrate too much, even though they've scored podiums. They've got to have an evening of thinking again, how can we make the car even better? Is there another chance for us to do more tomorrow? All teams will be thinking that, even Porsche with Pascal Wehrlein, because they would love to have had a 1-2.
Here's the standings then, Ben.
But this is where the points are now, and just look how much closer it is. From a 20-point gap, it's now come down to a 2-point gap between Nick Cassidy and Pascal Wehrlein. Jake Dennis, though, is still very much in that fight up front. Jean-Eric Verne scored well today. Mitch Evans did not. So he's down in 5th place, and that is going to be painful to him. Antonio Felix da Costa not scoring the sort of points he was hoping to do either, and that is difficult. Stoffel van Dorn, though, that's boosted him a little bit up the order, up into 12th position, and of course, further down the order as well, some of the drivers that haven't had a particularly good time. Eduardo Mortara scoring some useful points here today. So let's go down and hear from the drivers.
Pascal Wehrlein, race winner today. Well managed. Congratulations. How does it feel?
Yeah, thank you. It feels awesome, obviously. Yeah, very good race. Already qualifying was much better than the previous races, and yeah, thanks a lot to the team. I mean, the car was awesome today. I was leading almost the whole race, so it was not so easy on energy for me, and I knew that the guys behind had a little bit more, and also driving in the slipstream the whole time helps. But yeah, I think defended well, and yeah, happy to be back on top. The team definitely deserves it, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow now.
So coming off the back of some disappointing results, or as far back as Diriyah to now, this must feel like a real weight off.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the last couple of races, we were not where we wanted to be, and yeah, definitely also not scored the points we wanted, and qualifying was a big issue for us. And yeah, today with P3, we qualified in the best position so far this season. So yeah, big turnaround for us in the last couple of weeks. And like I said, thanks a lot to the team for all the hard work. Still a long way to go.
Congratulations, enjoy the celebrations.
So for Pascal Wehrlein, it has certainly worked out extremely well. The 2nd row start converted into a race victory, battling hard, but making no mistakes at all. Using the attack mode, obviously working hard, trying to use that full 8-minute attack mode that was part of this race. Slightly unusual, first time we've seen that this year, but it did look as though attack mode did not necessarily mean overtaking straight away. And for the checker flag came out, it was Pascal Wehrlein. And the delight down in the Porsche garage, fantastic to see after they've been through a little bit of a blank patch. Not too bad, he's been scoring some points, but not quite where he wanted. Let's go back down.
Third podium in a row, but I'm getting a sense that you might not be over the moon about that.
Nah, I'm pretty annoyed, to be honest. You know, obviously having a good season if you're annoyed with second, but I don't know. Obviously the start lost me the race ultimately. We had way too much wheel spin on the dust and dropped back to fourth. And then the manoeuvre with Pascal was ridiculous. Like, I had to hit so much pressure to avoid hitting the back of him. I don't know how he got away with that, to be honest. It's ridiculous. So the other two guys did it perfectly. They left just enough space for one car, which is the rule. And then Pascal just completely like swerved all up to the wall, and then I had to slam on the brakes halfway down the straight. So he'd already committed to lifting, and at that point you have to leave space, and he didn't. So yeah, but we can't protest against them because they also have a Porsche powertrain. So yeah, a bit ridiculous.
Solid points nonetheless, and the chance for more tomorrow. Would you change anything for tomorrow's race?
Start on the clean side of the grid. Qualifying is super important. I actually didn't expect the race to go like that. It was pretty much flat out from the start. So yeah, we have a really quick qualifying car. I don't think quite as quick as Max's, but ultimately if we can start on the front two rows, we can obviously win the race tomorrow. But yeah, thankful for the team. You know, 18 points is huge. We beat some of our main rivals, and yeah, we go again tomorrow.
Thanks, Jake.
Oh.
That was spicy.
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it, Nick? That was so Dennis can't protest because it's a Porsche powertrain.
Well, they can protest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with him. That move from Wehrlein was very late, and yeah, he's right. He's right to be annoyed because that cost him the race.
100% agree with you there, because it was too much of a dangerous manoeuvre on the inside line. Hopefully it gets sorted ahead of tomorrow. So Fenestraz officially finishes now in 19th position on the amended graphics. Let's hear it from Max Gunther.
Podium. How does it feel to be up there, equaling the best results so far this season?
I'm happy. You know, for sure, you always want to win. You know, as a racing driver, when you start from pole, you want to win. We were leading for a few laps, but yeah, we just didn't have enough to beat the two Porsche guys in front of me. They did a fantastic job. Congratulations to Jake and to Pascal. Say I had a few small issues. The car not as perfect as it was the rest of the weekend, but still, you know, a good race car underneath me, and yeah, happy with what we achieved today or this weekend. You know, fantastic to be on the podium again. It was the maximum today, and yeah, we tried to keep improving.
Good points, and you get to do it all again. Enjoy the podium.
Thank you very much.
So good work done and very useful points. Third place for Max Gunther, having started from that pole.
I believe they're going to go to an ad break then, which they usually do. Or they're going to throw it back to Radzi. Don't know what they're going to do.
So just looking down, it's we've got an interesting podium to celebrate here today, and a few people, of course, who won't be quite so happy with the result today, but looking forward to tomorrow and hoping that they can get something a little better out of the bag.
Yeah, Robin Freins, I think, deserves a mention. We sort of, you know, didn't get a chance to really see him on track or talk about him, but that's a really good result for him. He's come back from injury, and that's his first point in a race so far this year.
Just want to say that's...
So let's have a look at driver's room.
Well,
yeah.
it's DaCosta and
Drivers getting together.
Hughes. They seem to be all right.
We'll have more of this coming up in a little while.
That's right. It's a driver's room where we need to hear from them. Let's play some music over it, so we can't hear the drivers. For God's sake. And make it louder. There you go. Someone realised.
Mine was over there. Yeah, you went. You heard me, man. Yeah, if you didn't open, we would have touched.
Another safety car.
Getting
Another safety car in Formula 3. It's getting insane. Okay, well, me and Nick are going to have a quick break. Down to Radzi.
What a race that was. So we're currently stood, just as you can see, the stage when the podium celebrations take place. We'll be the first to hand over to them. But lads, once again, Formula E has delivered. Pascal Wehrlein, he is back now, just 2 points separating him and Nick Cassidy. What a defensive performance from him.
an amazing job. He kept it cool. He knew he had less energy, but he wanted to take the risk of staying in the front, grabbing, being like the punch in the hole of the wind. He knew that the cars behind him were going to be more efficient because they kept on his toe, but he kept strong, kept in the front, he defended, he knew he had enough energy, calculated perfectly till the end of the race, and ended up winning. So the Porsche powertrain showed a lot of efficiency, showed a lot of speed, P1, P2. I don't think the Maserati had much for him. I mean, Max was trying to hang on with the two cars, but he didn't seem to challenge them. He didn't seem to have the speed to really try to challenge him for the win. So good job for the Porsche powertrains. Dennis obviously not too happy, but a good result for him, and it's good. It's great for Pascal. He got very lucky that Nick didn't come back. Jaguar powertrain didn't seem to have that much efficiency, you know, just to challenge the race. So yeah, overall, a good race. Tomorrow was 2 more laps. I think it's going to be a whole different ball game, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Tomorrow is going to be exciting, but in terms of reflecting on today, Kelvin van der Linde, obviously you can see Apta Cupra, very proud to be part of their team. Can we talk about that final lap? Because things could have changed, but Pascal was so defensively responsible, really impressive stuff.
Yeah, look, we knew from the beginning of the race it was going to pretty much sort itself out in the first 10 laps, and then the guys were pretty much flat out, so it makes overtaking so difficult. We obviously had the yellow flag at the end of the race in turn 1, so it was very difficult for the guys to do anything. I really thought that the front two something was gonna happen again, and actually Günther would have been able to profit from that. But Pascal did a great job. He kept a cool head, showed his experience in Formula E, and yeah, brought it home for Porsche. I think, well, you can only imagine, I mean, what kind of weight is off his shoulders at the moment.
Right, in terms of momentum, we've spoken about the Jag powertrain. We haven't spoken much about the Porsche powertrain, not since the first 5 races, and yet he's delivered when it counts, and Porsche are all about winning.
Yeah, I mean, I think just this track suited them a bit better, you know. I don't know if it was the length of the race, the amount of energy you had to recover, but this was just a race that fitted for the Andretti cars, fitted for the Porsche cars. So it's just, you know, let's see. Tomorrow's going to be a bit different, but I think just because of this head start they had, they're going to be much more confident tomorrow, and I have no doubt that they're going to have good results tomorrow as well and try to extend this gap in the championship.
Kelvin, can we talk about the Stellantis powertrain? So DS and Maserati, they've not been anywhere this season as a unit, and yet we've seen them 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th as a solid unit delivering here. That's so impressive. Something about these conditions has just worked.
It is impressive, I think, especially for Günther. I think he kept a very cool head today, very mature drive from his side. I think what we always knew is they had a strong car in qualifying, a very fast car, and I think the style of the race today, a very flat-out race, suited them probably a bit more. When you have a car that's working well, it's able to manage the tires, keep the tires cool, not overheat the tires. It showed out there today, and also with both DS Penske cars in the top 5, it just shows that the package is working well, and obviously very positive for them because it's a double header, so tomorrow obviously also very exciting.
Well put, sir. Well, the elephant in the room is obviously the massive incident that happened between Sam Bird and Mitch Evans. More about that very, very shortly, but not before we hand over for the celebrations. And in terms of the team championship and the drivers' championships as well. This is all about Jakarta, and it's all about good vibes.
I don't think that's the elephant in the room in Formula E at the moment, to be fair, Nick. I think the elephant in the room is some other people in the broadcast team. Anyway, moving on away from that. First ever time, but we must just be said, actually, it's the first ever time in Formula E's history that none of the original 3 have been present at a race weekend, which I think is a bit bad. They could have got Dario in last second.
I miss Dario.
I do. He was at Monaco, but that was it. He's vanished again.
Yeah, he'll be back. I think he's only doing, is it 3 races this season?
Yeah, he's doing Rome and London, isn't he, next 2? So that's it. He won't be in Portland.
Missed. Well, which is, yeah, it's weird he won't be in Portland because it's in the US.
I know. He lives in the US. It's really bizarre. Unless he's in Portland and misses Rome and then comes back for London, I don't know. But yeah, I know that I don't actually know who's in London yet. I think there's a whole new commentary format we're going to have in London once again to round up the championship because I don't even know where Ed is. I think it's Jess actually with me, like she was in Berlin. To add to the list.
Ed's there, isn't he, in London, I think?
Yes, he is, yeah. He's trackside again, isn't he, with Formula E's zone.
Yeah.
Doing some stuff, which is... I'm not jealous at all, but it's impossible for me to get there with everything else on that weekend. Touring cars. It's another one of this weekend, exactly, really. It's this weekend, but more in Belgium. I think I'm stepping away from the commentary box for quite a few things that weekend as well. So I don't actually know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing the F1 sprint, and then I think I'm just sticking with F1 in Spa. So I might miss F2 and F3, which is going to destroy me. But
Is there a sprint in Spa?
yeah, Spa sprint, the most pointless sprint race we're going to have of the year, because it's like I think it's something like it's like 11 laps or something. It's really stupid.
It'll probably be rained off.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's cancel the F3 and F2s. All good. Anyway, Jake Dennis finishing second, Max Gunther's third. Your race winner, though, Pascal Wehrlein. 4th victory of the year for Pascal. He's back to winning races after the last 5 races being absolutely miserable. Don't know where the audio has gone from the side of the track, because all I can hear is Ben Edwards and the music. There we go, slowly coming back to us. FP1 has concluded. Well done to Josh T for streaming that. He'll be commentating on the qualifying session alongside Omi later on. I'll be back for race 1. Jess and Josh take through race 2, and I'll be back for race 3. As it comes through. Hands all flying up there for Wehrlein. There's a massive round of applause coming up as well. I hope he gets on the podium, because we need to hear the German national anthem for both Porsche and Pascal Wehrlein to get his championship back on track. 2 points the gap now between Cassidy and Wehrlein. It's the German national anthem here in Jakarta on the top step of the podium. It's taking his time now.
Everybody can celebrate what Pascal Wehrlein has achieved.
Yeah, I mean, they were 1-2 in the opening 3 races of the season, and at that stage it looked like they were going to disappear off into the distance, but the championship battle well and truly on between those 2 drivers. Nick Cassidy, Jean-Eric Burns in that fight as well. We got a lot of racing yet to go in this season.
Certainly have. So it's time for the anthem.
The German national anthem for Pascal Wehrlein. Tell you what, celebrations all around, but this Formula 3 race is absolutely cracking. I'm really upset I'm missing this. Synthol and Jess having a right old laugh commentating on this one, I can see right now. Or at least I hope they are, as they come into it. They're on the final lap, which means I have completely missed the race, thanks to that. I thought, considering that, this is what I love at Nick as well. Formula, what was he? We were, 3 laps into Formula 3 when this race finished. And also, they've had 2 safety cars. And yet we're still finishing at the same time. What is going on? I have no idea.
There's a lot of... I mean, the podium in Formula E takes forever.
Yeah, you clear out your evening plans, really, when it comes to podiums in Formula E. It really is quite
the race is in the morning, so that says enough.
I mean, it's 10:10. I mean, we've got, until 11:15, something like that, maybe? That doesn't give us long to get all the stuff sorted, so we kind of need to hurry up here and get off here. Gunther finishes 3rd. Should have been a race win today, but the car wasn't there. Maybe he can do the Grand Slam tomorrow. No one's ever been able to do the... Well, there's only, 4 drivers in history that's done the double? Evans being one of them as well. Prost doing it as well. Bird's done it as well. Someone else... Wehrlein did it, of course, back in Saudi Arabia earlier on this year. So can Wehrlein do a double again and take 2 2s?
I think it'll be interesting. As I said, the race is 2 laps longer, so...
Yeah.
I think if the race was 2 laps longer this time, Dennis would have won.
They just made it today as well, so energy management is going to be really tough tomorrow. Rock the baby, Pascal. Victory for Pascal Wehrlein here in Jakarta. Do we have champagne? I'm not sure. No champagne. It's confetti cannons.
But don't worry, they've attached a GoPro to the confetti cannon.
Oh, that's a good idea. So we can see the driver shoot the... I'm not going to say that though. There we go.
Nope. He didn't set it off, did he? He just lobbed it.
He just lobbed it, yeah. That always works. And now he's gone crowd surfing. You're too heavy for crowd surfing, Pascal.
And there's only 2 people there.
Yeah. It's not really going to work, is it? What was he thinking? What is he thinking? I don't know anymore. Really bizarre. What a strange idea. Well then, Nick, what have you made of this one?
It was alright. It wasn't the best race I've ever seen, but interesting. Yeah, I think tomorrow will be a bit more interesting with the longer race. I think this one, there wasn't much energy saving required. Everyone got to the end without too much hassle and pushing pretty hard. So tomorrow will be more interesting. But yeah, it was pretty close. Not as much overtaking, a bit of accidents. That's what you'd expect from Formula E.
Pretty much. It's been all right. And that's Channel 4 going off, so hopefully tomorrow will be better. Okay, here's your coverage details for the rest of the day. Next up, it is the Formula 1 practice session as well, practice 3. And then I believe at 12:10, our second practice session from Thruxton gets ready for the touring cars. 1 o'clock is F2. Then we've got qualifying for everything on at the same time as well. Also, I think 2 o'clock, free practice 2 for the IndyCar coverage as well. Then you can join us for qualifying for Formula 1 at 2:45. Then at 3:15 you can join Josh and Omi for the touring car qualifying alongside the F1. And then at 5 o'clock on the Grid Network we've got our pre-show. I'm hosting it as well. Alongside Amanda for previewing the race weekend and looking back at Formula E as well, and then looking back at what happened in NASCAR as well at the Portland Raceway circuit. And then, of course, at 6:15, we are underway for the IndyCar qualifying as well, myself and Josh in the box for that one. And then at 7:30, I'm going to collapse into bed and go to sleep to wake up at 1:30, something like that, to get into the commentary box for the following race. So, Nick, your prediction for tomorrow, please.
Ooh, let's say Dennis.
Midday, Dennis? Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Dennis, to be fair. He wasn't on my picker winner list, but I think I'll go for Dennis's race too. Okay, but very thanks to you, Nick Owen, for joining me in the box. It's been fun. I think that's the first time we've done solo comms together. I'm not too sure about that.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. He's always been with Ed, always someone. So yeah, very nice to have you, Nick, as well. We'll see you tomorrow, and to everybody as well. The F3 race is finishing up now as well, but we'll be back soon. Thanks for your company then. It wasn't Gunther's day, it was Verline for the first time in 5 races, back on top step as well. And the championship is closing up. 2 points then, separating Casti and Verline. Hopefully, race 2 in Jakarta will be better. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.